And welcome back to episode 64 of the Hit the Showers. This nigga try to slide it real quick.
You
Welcome
know?
back to episode 64 of the Hit the Showers podcast presented to you by the Foolproof Entertainment Network. As always, I am your host, Clifford Jordan Jennings, here with my point man and co-host Malcolm Barber School King.
Get out of here. All that nonsense. What's up, Brett? Get out of here.
What's going on, y'all?
We
You
got
know.
Brett in the building. Mark know why he barber school this evening, boy.
You said, hold on. You said barber school, not bar stool. Oh, yeah, you got me.
Barber.
Yeah, you got me. You know what? I gotta hit the showers for that. You got me. Yep. You
You
ain't mad.
goddamn right, you gotta hit the showers for that, John. But we here to talk football this evening.
Yes, sir.
I just want to start it out. Did y'all hear about that? The Clinton Portis health fraud scandal.
No, elaborate.
I seen a headline, but I didn't read it. So what was that about?
So it was hold on. It said Clinton Portis, Tamarick Vanover, and Robert McCune all pled guilty to a healthcare fraud scandal. I guess it was with Nationwide, where they got 2.5 million from June of 2012 to April of 2018. They got 2.9 total, and it was basically you know how like when you like your insurance for your job, they'll set you up like an account where you can take money out for health
Health savings
expenses,
account.
right? That
Like a HSA?
something like
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
how it seemed like they was talking about from the article, and they was just taking out shit that they wasn't
They were supposed to pay into it and they weren't paying into it, is
no,
what you're
I
saying?
get they had money already in it from like they retired NFL league, and I guess they was taking money out of it for shit that wasn't happening, for like health shit that wasn't taking place, and just spending
Oh,
the
okay.
money type shit. And they ended up getting like 2.9 over the years
So this was recent. Like this wasn't while they was playing. This is something they was doing.
since
Like,
2017.
oh, okay. Yeah.
But I guess Clinton Portis and Vanover, they both facing up to a maximum of 10 years. And Robert McCune is facing a maximum of 20. And they said like 15 former other players pled guilty to it to date for the same shit.
Just why? Just why? I mean,
I mean,
I don't understand.
motherfuckers
They better-
get money. Clinton Portis is one of them motherfuckers that was like one of the went broke list.
Oh, he
bet.
was?
Mhm.
I bet he was. And we was just talking about him last week, remember?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy that this is happening.
Yeah.
Mm.
Damn.
Well,
Spoke
well,
his ass up in
right.
a bad way.
Right. Well, Clinton, hopefully you can do the time. Hopefully
That's
you can
tough.
handle it.
He's not gonna do no time.
Yeah, I don't see that either.
I would be. I mean, I ain't gonna say he's not gonna do no time. He ain't gonna do no 10
No,
years.
not
No,
not
not
at
no
all.
10. You get out on good behavior. You probably do half less.
No, I don't.
He
We'll
might
see
not
if he
even-
ends up doing time. If he got some money, if he got a little something to pay it back, he might not do no time. Might do. Might get some probation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's tough though, man. Like,
Or he could be like, you know what? Go ahead and give me 2 years for that 2 million or 3 million
Yeah,
that I took
you
and
get some of that.
Call
to
it a
licensed
wash.
Lawyer.
call it a wash.
Right. Right. How much is that worth? You ain't gonna be. Never mind. Never mind. But moving on, I just wanted to bring that up, see if y'all heard about that. Tom Brady said something very interesting. We touched on it last episode, and I know a lot of people might have missed last episode because me My
Mike and
co-host for
Pops.
Do Fools Agree did a mashup joint, so it didn't come off as like Hit the Showers. But one of the topics we talked about was Tom Brady's interview on, I can't remember what it was on, but he was basically, I think it was on a podcast, but he was basically talking about how because of the penalties that happen, well, basically he was saying offensive mistakes are leading to defensive penalties that are hurting the game because kids aren't learning the proper way to play the positions now because of the penalties. Like basically he was saying like how a quarterback used to know the spots and pockets to throw to their receivers to where the receiver wouldn't really be helpless. You know what I mean? And nowadays, because of the penalties and shit, the quarterbacks can just throw those shots and the defense can't react to them like they used to back in the day because it's going to be a flag. So basically he's saying it's helping quarterbacks get away with sloppy ball. Where back in the day there was no targeting, there was nothing like that. So if you threw your receiver out there, that was just fucked up on you to throw your receiver out there like that. But now
Right.
because the refs will throw that flag, the quarterbacks take chances that they should never be taking, putting their receivers at risk. And they can do that because they know that DB can't hit him like that or it's going to be a flag. He even went deeper and said, like, even quarterbacks getting hit from the back, like the blindsided, he said that shouldn't be a penalty. A quarterback should know enough to, you know, watch his backside or feel his line collapse and do something with that. But
Right.
that shouldn't be on the defense. He said you're putting the offensive players' well-being in the defensive players' hands, and they shouldn't have to worry about our well-being. They should just be able to play football. And I do agree with that to an extent, but
he said that you're putting the offensive players' well-being in the defense's hand.
Right, because back in the day, we could just react and hit whoever it was. Now that defensive player, in the midst of reacting on a play, has to think to himself, okay, no helmet to helmet. Okay, I can't target. I can't
all right,
hit him.
bear
I
with
gotta
me,
hit him
guys.
nice. I
I'll
gotta
be
wrap
right-
up, or it's gonna, if I hit him too violent, they're gonna throw a flag. And he shouldn't have to worry about that in the midst of playing. But that's what he was saying, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, game is sloppy all around. I mean, to me, I think almost every aspect of the game, especially in the pros, is just sloppy. And with the rules makes it harder too.
I mean, but like Mike says, so Mike basically said it's ironic that Brady would be talking about that because a lot of the rules that he's talking about came from him. And that's the truth. Especially the rules that baby the quarterback in that pocket like that.
Yeah.
Those definitely came from Brady. But I definitely understand what he's talking about from a sense of setting your receivers up. Because I always go back to Michael Irvin.
Okay.
There is not a better wide receiver out there when you talk about willing to go across the middle and get it.
Right, Mike. Yeah, I mean, well, back then they was clotheslining people too.
That's
like
what, all that.
receivers.
Like, it didn't matter. His job was to hold on to that football, catch it, and take that hit. And the hits that they were delivering to Michael Irvin were ridiculous.
Right. They was messing him up. And your Raiders, for example, I seen some highlights back in the day, Cuddy, the Raiders and the Steelers, them duking it out. Man, that was an all-out war. That wasn't even football. That was war.
I mean, but I think it is. I think it is football. I think football should be reffed like like a UFC fight or a boxing match. You know what I mean? If both of those teams are, like head to head fighting on the inside, I'm gonna let you get away with a little bit because you're
Right.
both fighting a dirtier game.
Right.
Now, if one's running and the other one's chasing them down and, fighting, I'm going to start calling flags. But if
Right.
y'all both are playing the same game, I'm going to let y'all go a bit. Like, okay, y'all, it's even. You know what I mean? I could call flags, but I'd be calling flags on both of y'all if I did that. So I'm going to just let y'all play.
Right. Right.
Type shit.
Right.
And I feel like football should be refed like that. But the thing is, now to Tom's not as to his defense, but to his point, those flags come out over regular play that just can't be helped. Like you're basically at this point, we've been talking about it. It's an offensive league. You've taken away all the rules. You've taken away the defense's ability to play at all anymore. Then to add on the additional rules like targeting, and I understand helmet to helmet and all that, but a targeting, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to target the person that you're hitting.
I agree.
But isn't the targeting the helmet to helmet?
I thought that was two different rules. Targeting is like
I thought the helmet to helmet fell under targeting.
I think targeting is, they define it as when somebody is left defenseless,
right,
able to really properly defend themselves as a receiver. Yeah, I think that's the targeting.
Right.
They actually got it right. During that Ohio State game, I don't know if you guys watched it, but there was a play where he threw who did we just play? Wisconsin? Was it Minnesota?
No, Minnesota. Uh-huh.
Yeah, we just played Minnesota. So they threw him the ball. Defensive dude pops him. Regular hit, but they end up going helmet to helmet. Now, and then the guy fumbles the ball. And the announcers are on TV like, yep, that's targeting. That's hitting a defensive player. Like they're like, like, yeah, he's going to get hit with this call, when they're kind of going over it. And literally, basically, they're just putting it in people's heads. Like,
right.
I'm sorry, guys. They just putting it in people's heads like, oh, yeah, they can't do that. You know what I'm saying? But to my surprise, when the refs came back, they actually didn't call targeting, and they actually called it a fumble. I don't know if you watched the game, Malcolm or Chris,
no,
but
I seen the second. Was it the second half?
Yeah, this was the second half.
It was.
This was in the second half. Yep, this was in the second half, and they ended up calling a fumble, which to me was the right call because the guy. I mean, my thing is, you really can't predict how someone is going to fall, right?
Right.
As a defensive player, you can't predict how somebody is going to fall, how somebody might turn. Now, if you see them get the ball, make a football play, they start moving, right? And then you see someone lunge at them in a way where it's like, okay, well, the only way you were going to be able to hit them was in the head. You know what I'm saying? Then I can understand. I can understand that type of call, and I feel like that should be a penalty. You know what I'm saying? When it's that much aggression in a play, so to speak. But for the most part, man, I really don't feel like I don't feel like you can play football and expect people to hit a certain way. But okay, it's like, okay, they teach you to hit with your shoulders now, right, or something like that.
Right.
Tackle with your shoulders.
Right, lead with your shoulders. Now.
So you're expecting them to lead with their shoulders, but at the same time, don't let your head or or anything hit theirs. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how do you really expect these players on defense? Because that's what's becoming the harder thing to play.
Right. How
do you expect them to put up a real game? Like, how is this going to be a real game?
I mean, but at the end of the day, and with the helmet to helmet is a little different, just because The only time you get called for those are like there's stipulations to it. Like if the offensive player lowers his head as you're coming in and you hit helmet to helmet, that's a fair
fair helmet to helmet, right?
Because he lowered into the impact.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or well, not even or if you see the defensive player lead with his head like that, they'll usually call a helmet to helmet or a targeting because you didn't actually hit their helmet, but you targeted with your head type shit. Those are weird calls anyway, but my whole thing is, like you said, when a defensive player is already at a disadvantage and then they have to think about how they hit you or when they hit you or if you're looking at them when they hit you, that's too much to put on that defensive player.
It's just not realistic.
Right. They got to just play the game.
In that type of game, yeah, it's not realistic. Like, you can't, this is a game that a lot of times, anytime you play a sport, especially in the heat of the moment, you're going off muscle memory, you're going off instincts, and there's just no room for thinking sometimes, like, if that makes sense. I mean, of course, you want to think, you don't want to do anything outrageous,
right.
But you can't think, oh, I gotta turn this, you don't want to have to think about, oh, let me turn this way so I can only hit him like this. And that goes back to what you were saying with Tom Brady. Like, he's right. And if they're gentle on anybody, it's Tom Brady. He's gonna get the call, whatever it may be, whether it was real or not. He's gonna get the call. So if he's saying it, then they should listen. But will they? I don't know. But
I think what they think is that takes us back to a barbaric era of football.
Football is barbaric. Stop trying. You can't make something, you know what I'm saying? Like, if we're sword fighting, you can't be like, oh, well, I don't want to see any blood. Like, nah, we're, you know what I'm saying? Like, if we're out here and we're really sword fighting, you can't be like, well, it shouldn't be. Well, what do we even have these swords for? Because as soon as it pierces you, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I feel. You can't turn this into something civil. And I just feel like that's what they're trying to do. And I understand from the perspective of all the cases of CTE, et cetera, et cetera. But again, I don't know that you
take away the pads.
I don't know that
take the game back to what it was.
I don't know that there's going to be less cases of CTE with these rules in place.
Well, see,
that's my biggest thing.
I just feel like we had a bit of the conversation last week when we talked. You think about all the older players, they were more durable. They lasted longer. They had longer careers back then when it was a more aggressive game. And like I say all the time, the weaker you play the game, the weaker the body gets. It's not built up the same for that same impact because it's not taking it like it used to.
Right.
Yeah, no, a lot of the game is mental too. So, if you got people telling you nobody should be hitting you like that.
Right.
You right. You know what I'm saying? Like, so then when you do get hit like that, you're not even trying to prepare for it. You more outraged that somebody did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the game is just, being tough is really mental a lot of the time. A big portion of it is mental. A big portion of being great at any sport is mental. So that comes with the durability as well. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's a mental thing a lot of times. In this generation, with all the changes, and this goes for sports across the board, especially with basketball, they're not lasting. Their bodies just are not lasting like we've seen them last in the past. Like, players are always injured, seems like, if you're talking about the NBA. And of course,
NBA.
But I'm just saying, like, overall, as far as durability,
even football
throughout the decades. Yeah, but in football, you kind of expect it a little bit more because it's like people are trying to knock your head off in a sense. But like I said, just with everything that they do, all the money that is being poured into people's bodies, and all the steps they take, better training, et cetera, et cetera. Like I said, people, they're just not as durable as they were 30 years ago. And like I said, I can only say that it's something mental that is lacking in the present generation as opposed to the past, because they got all the they got access to all the right facilities, all the right training, and people telling them about what to food to eat. People wasn't on that back in the day, man. People didn't, back in the day, they didn't know you were supposed to be vegan and doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. So it's like they have all the tools in this day and age, but they just don't last. So I'm going to say it's mental. It's definitely a mental thing that is lacking there.
You could be absolutely correct. That could be right on the money, because like I said, you definitely got the genes. Half these motherfuckers is the sons of juniors. My dad played, my grandpa played, so I don't get it.
That's half the genes. You got, they might not have picked the right mama.
That is true, right. Cliff. We talked about that.
You said that. Now listen, that's the truth. You right about that.
Yeah, we talked about that. Genetic makeup.
You right about that. Listen,
people don't sit down and think about that when they have kids. Like, and again, not that should be your sole. We're not like dog or animal breeding here, but no one's thinking of, well, what is this person's genetic makeup? Is it going to be?
You didn't think about it just a little bit?
No, I mean, Cliff and I had this discussion off air. We talked about this, Cliff.
I thought about it.
I definitely wouldn't think about that.
Right.
I mean, I wasn't thinking about what was going to happen.
Right.
Okay, yeah, I forgot I'm talking to two men. My bad. My bad.
I definitely wouldn't.
I think that older version. I don't know how old you were when you had your first kid, Malcolm, but I'm definitely thinking an older version. Some of those things are gonna.
23. I was 23.
You know what I'm saying? You was 23, 24?
Yeah.
Still fairly
24?
young.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, see, some of these things, if you were a little older, probably would run across your mind. So
absolutely. Well, not to sound cliche, Britt, but it's kind of like that quote or that saying, if I knew what I know now back then, you know what I mean? Like,
oh, yeah, for sure.
I agree with you. Like, yeah, that's something I'm sure I would have considered, like, man.
Now, I'm not even going to lie to you. Like, that is something that I, for sure, consider athletic abilities. Mm-hmm. Like, if I was talking to a guy and let's say I didn't feel like he was very athletic, that would kind of like be in the back of my head. I probably wouldn't break it off, but it would be in the back of my head. Like, man, I don't know if I'm trying to. I don't know if I'm trying to. That means I'm gonna have to carry all my genes. Gonna have to come over. You know what I'm saying? So, but it was a thought of mine. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was a thought of mine.
Well, you know what? I guarantee you, it's some of these NFL or NBA NFL players that's thinking like that.
What's the name said he thought like that? Chad Ochocinco.
For real?
He was like, man, he don't care. He said, I don't care about nothing. Like, I don't care about her face. He was just like, does she have some athletic? No, this is legit on the pack. He said, he was like, man, she better be able to run. He was like, she better be able to do something. He was like, is she an athlete? I cared about having my kids with women that had the ability to do something.
Right. I don't disagree. That's not even being on a pro level. So, because I damn sure, listen, if I'm having another one, that's planned.
For sure. You get older, you already know. You know what I'm saying? But these are things that, depending on what your background is. If you consider yourself an athlete, this is probably something that you would want for your child.
Hell yeah, fuck shit. Well,
you gotta be able to do something.
Let's hop out the genetic pool. we got a game coming up tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's tomorrow. Thursday is here already.
8:20 p.m.
Thursday tomorrow. Now, my question is, why would they roll the first game of the season out this Thursday, and why wouldn't they have done it the Labor Day on?
They never start football that early.
Yeah, they always start on. Well, they always.
I thought it was the first week of September.
Second week, always is usually
No.
second week.
Yeah, this
week.
is right. This is the right around the right time.
Mhm.
Unless, I mean, I don't know how they
This
used to do it
wouldn't
back
be
in the
the
day.
second week.
No, the second week
Technically,
of September.
the second Thursday.
The second week
Yeah.
of September.
This is the second Thursday.
Because
is
last week was the first on Friday,
Oh,
right?
okay.
Let me look again. I'm tripping. I'm sorry. A week ago from today, obviously, was the 1st of September, last Wednesday. So that was the first half week of September. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, usually it's the intro to the second week instead of the very first week of September.
See, I just feel like that would have been a perfect time for a game.
Oh, I agree. Especially
Everybody
with,
had the game off, had it off. Motherfuckers was barbecuing already.
Would have been great. Yeah, they want to give these players one last little hoorah probably for the season started.
Them motherfuckers don't need no hoorah. And I guarantee they ain't let them out for one.
They probably didn't, or they probably said, "Yeah, make sure sure
Right.
it's within a bubble atmosphere."
This is perfect timing. Perfect timing.
The
They let college kick off last weekend. They don't want to do that the same weekend as them.
That's true. That is true. I didn't think about that. It's a business clip, you know that.
Oh yeah.
So they're
That's
probably
a
like,
good
let us get ours real quick.
Yeah,
they
because
don't
what
play
the
on
Buckeyes
Monday?
played. The Buckeyes played last Thursday, so if they gonna start on Thursday, which the NFL always starts on Thursday, that would have been a terrible conflict.
That would take away.
Oh, is it Thursday always the start?
Yeah, typically. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, well, that makes sense then. I didn't know Thursday was always the start of the season.
Oh yeah.
I just think that would have been a better day though. But
So what's that Thursday game? That's what Bucks versus Cowboys.
Cowgirls.
Yeah.
Now listen, don't let the Cowboys come out here and shake things up and win that first game.
No.
You know what?
Where are they playing?
Let me look, Brett.
I want to say, and I saw it too, and I can see myself looking at it, but I don't know. I can't remember which side. Because I know I didn't write it down that way.
I thought so. It's in Tampa.
Okay. It makes sense. Like, you got to give the Super Bowl. You can't start them off away. Super Bowl champs.
But
You can't start them off away.
Why not? They played in their home field for the Super Bowl.
But they earned that.
You don't earn that. It just so happened to be that way.
But I mean, so you can't
where the Super Bowl's played.
But
you can't get mad at that though, because it was like no matter who was gonna be there, that's where they was playing.
That's the genius of time, man.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like Brittany is what I'm saying. Like that was the first time, right, that a team's ever got to play in their home stadium. And you know what I'm saying? That's not supposed to happen. That's what I'm saying, and it did. So they earned it to me. Like, y'all get back home.
We're the Super Bowl this year. I'm trying to go.
Is it Vegas or New York? Let me look it up.
New York, that's a nice little drive. I can make that
New
drive.
York, I want to say.
Oh, that's a terrible. Who got an indoor stadium in New York? Not the Jets.
New York. I don't think.
I was about to say, ain't nobody about to be out there.
Crazy like Chicago or.
They try to put it somewhere where it ain't super cold.
I'm looking right now, Britt. So, okay, so this year's, I was totally wrong. It's gonna be in Inglewood, California at SoFi.
Inglewood.
Okay.
So that's the Rams, right? Or is that
they playing in the Rams?
Chargers. Wait.
No, that would be the Rams. No, that would be
the Rams.
It could be either. Wait, hold on.
Yeah, that would be the Chargers, I believe.
LA got so many teams in basketball and football, boy. I can't keep.
Nah, because are they playing in the? Are they doing that? Are they sharing a stadium, kind of like the Clippers and the Lakers?
Oh, Clippers and Lakers. That's a good question. You know what? Brittany,
I wouldn't think so. They might.
Let me look now. Yeah, Brittany, let me look.
They might be now that I think about it.
That's a great place to have a Super Bowl.
They had to schedule the away games off of the.
I would be down for that Super Bowl.
So, okay.
If we got tickets now, what do you think it'll cost?
A lot.
Not when you don't know when you have no chance. When you don't know who.
It's the Super Bowl, but regardless, they're gonna charge you an arm and a leg.
In the nosebleed?
In the
nosebleed.
on.
Looking at like $35.
$5.
$35
$5
now.
I'll watch it gladly on the TV, especially if neither one of my team ain't playing.
I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, I'm good.
We ain't gonna talk about that right now, but I'm gonna look it up.
But Los Angeles plays at SoFi, so technically it's their stadium. Now the Chargers
They both Los Angeles.
Right, but
He's talking about the Rams, though. I got you.
Well, yeah, the Rams' stadium is well, they're both. Yeah, they're both like. Oh, so they do share a stadium.
Mm-hmm.
They do share a stadium.
Oh,
so
that's
if
nice.
either one of them,
That's
even
nice.
though they won't, if either one of them makes it to the Super Bowl, they'll be playing at home. But I doubt they will.
Right, yeah.
But that's a pretty good motivational tool.
They're not making it. They can be as motivated as they want. They not making it to the Super
Yeah,
Bowl.
I said I want to see the Rams. I want to see
Really?
Stafford
You think
get back
he's
in.
gonna do something?
I'm not sold. I said that. I'm not sold.
I think he's gonna do what he normally does. That's what I think.
But as far as Dallas and Tampa, I don't know how Dallas is going to look
Mm-hmm.
just because Dak's back,
Mm-hmm.
and I know that he hasn't been able to get his comfort reps out.
Their Pro Bowl lineman for the Cowgirls, Zach Martin, is out on is on the COVID list as well, which they were talking about on NFL.com. That's a big miss. Zach Martin, right guard, out on the COVID list now.
You know what my prediction is for the Cowboys?
What?
You guys aren't gonna like this, but I predict that if they come out, they're gonna lose. They're gonna lose the first game, of course. They're gonna lose to the Bucks, but they're gonna go on a win streak, right? They're gonna go on something crazy. They might win their next 8, like eight straight. Like I can see them having that type of magic. Like they have the ability to have that type of magic. I'm not saying that they're gonna go all the way, but they have the ability. Like you don't know what you don't know what the Cowboys are going to do, but they have the ability to have that type of magic behind them. So I wouldn't be surprised if they lost that first game and then just went on a streak. 8-game win streak.
I said this before, and my bad, Cliff. I said this before, I'll say it again. The Cowboys remind me of the Clippers. Almost not every year for the Clippers, but the past couple of years, the Clippers and the Cowboys are always a team when they're like, oh, they're going to be great. Gonna look out for them. Watch out. And they do what we anticipate them to do, and they don't do shit at the end of the day. That's just my prediction.
You wasn't feeling the Cowboys before Dak got injured? I mean, you're not going to be feeling the Cowboys anyway, but I'm just saying, like, you didn't think they was all right before Dak got injured, though?
No, they were off to a decent start, but that's just like saying Carson Wentz's first year was talk for the MVP. You know what I mean? Look how
he had a good year. I'm just talking about that particular year. Like I'm just talking about last year before.
That was looking good, Brett. Yes, to answer your question, yes, he was looking good.
So I don't think he's lost his magic. I think he still has. I feel like he still wants to prove something. I don't think he's lost his magic. You can tell when somebody really wants it. When he got carted off, you could tell like that. Just it took a lot out of him. So I think he's going to be grateful that he's able to get back out there, and I think he's gonna be slinging it. I really do.
Y'all know what their downfall is, though?
What?
Mike McCarthy, head coach, and Dan Quinn, defensive coordinator. That's why, to me, Britt and Cliff,
I forgot about that. And Jerry Jones is
Jerry Jones. Yeah.
You know what? I'm not even pressed about that. I'm not thinking that deep. What I'm thinking is I wouldn't be surprised if Dallas doesn't stay close or even pull out the upset.
What you mean?
The Bucks?
Yeah.
Oh, you think they're gonna pull an upset against the Bucks? I'm not ruling it out because I feel like it is America's team, and they have the ability, like I said, to have that magic. I do feel like they have the ability to. Will the stars align? I don't know. I'm gonna lean more towards the Bucks pulling the win off.
Yeah, that's what I would definitely lean to. But I would not be surprised if Dallas.
I'm not ruling it out. I'm not putting it in the 20. There's a 20% range. There's a chance. I'm gonna say there's a chance that it could happen for sure.
Cliff, would you bet a friendly 5 on Dallas?
Sure.
You talking to Cliff?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Friendly 5, Cliff?
Why not?
All right.
Malcolm, who's y'all season opener?
Atlanta. That's a winnable game.
Oh man, I was gonna bet you a friendly 5. Y'all was gonna lose, but that'd be one of the ones y'all win.
Nah, I don't think so. But
You don't think you're gonna beat Atlanta? If
I
y'all
don't-
can't beat
I don't
Atlanta,
think-
then
as much as I love my team, I'm always realistic. I don't think we're gonna do a whole lot this year. I do agree with you. I hate to admit that, but I'm not expecting much. Now, obviously, I'm saying that too because if we do more than what I expect, I'm a happy camper. But I'm not expecting much.
I'm gonna give y'all a win over Atlanta. I'm gonna give y'all that.
I'll take
Cliff,
it.
who the Raiders play?
I just looked it up. They play Baltimore.
Ooh, that's a
Oh
loss.
yeah, y'all losing.
That's a loss.
Yeah, y'all coming out
ain't
0
losing.
and 1.
Well,
We
at
ain't
the same
losing.
time, where's the game at, Cliff?
Man, y'all not ready for them first game. Y'all
It looks
not.
like-
Y'all not that type of team. Y'all not ready for them first game. Hell
Man,
no.
you crazy as hell. And the only reason it's at Vegas. And the only reason why I say that is because one thing Carr does is put up points, and one thing Lamar does is if you can shut his run game down, he's not putting up points.
Man, one
Points
thing
do
that
not
man
get
does is
put
put
up.
up points. One
Man,
thing
listen.
Carr might do, he
Huh?
don't be putting up points against top 6
Jackson-
defense.
Cliff, let's not pretend. Jackson can throw the ball. He chooses to run when he feels like the play is
Man,
broken
nigga.
down.
Nigga, I seen something in him in that what's it called against Buffalo, and I said, nah.
Man, y'all not Buffalo though.
Yeah, right.
Y'all not Buffalo.
Yeah, thank you,
Listen.
Britt.
Don't compare
Thank
y'all
you.
to
Thank
Buffalo.
you,
Y'all
Britt.
not Buffalo.
That's true,
Y'all the Raiders.
Cliff, that's like trying to compare a Mazda to a Ferrari or something. I mean, that's not going to be,
Y'all not there though. Y'all not
We'll
even
put
that type
we'll
of
put
team.
the
They're not even.
friendly-
They're
we'll
not
put the
even
friendly
coming
five
into.
up.
Ooh.
I put the friendly 5 up for sure. I will.
Both of yous.
All right, bet.
$5.
Cliff, look.
Both of
$5 that the Ravens beat you.
Hey,
Beat the Raiders.
Cliff, get a list going because you know we all adults and might forget and
I
like.
know what I listen. I know what I'm betting on.
I ain't gonna forget my $5.
Yeah, I know, right? I know what
Buster.
I'm betting on.
Right.
Buster.
You kind of bullied me into that Dallas bet just because I
I
was talking.
did.
But the only reason why I said that is because I feel like Dak feels like he has something to prove.
I'm with you, Chris. And that's why I said you can't rule that out though. So it's not a
I love
bad
Dak.
bet.
And
You
you,
know
know,
what I'm
who
saying?
else I think has something to prove?
Go ahead. Who?
Zeke.
Zeke.
I agree. He lost
And
weight.
we all know that if Zeke that got his head on his shoulders and a target to where he's running to, ain't nobody stopping that.
I don't think you can count Zeke out. He's not somebody that I feel like you can count out in this. Like if he's on the field, you can't count him out because he got the dog in him.
But
If that makes
if
sense.
he's checked out, then you know you don't have to
No,
worry
he hasn't.
about
I don't think he's checked out. I don't think he's checked out.
Last season.
I don't think he checked out. I think he was basing it off of
No, he
what was going on. I don't think it was a
checked
check
out.
out.
I think I agree, but I kind of equate that to the same thing. Like I'm not gonna give my all if y'all not showing me y'all putting people that I need being there. That's checking out a bit.
And him and Dak and Britt, him and Dak are very close. So that weighed on him. You know what I mean?
Who was there? Who did they bring in? Andy Dalton. Who's the backup
Andy
QB?
Dalton.
So it's like, do you really? I mean, are you checking out, or are you just be like, man, I really just can't physically. The toll that a running back may take, especially somebody of his caliber. Like, he should probably just like, hey, I don't want to put my body through all this with Andy Dalton back there.
Right,
I just don't see it happening. So that's
He
not to me. That's not a check out. That's kind of like playing smart.
But
in a way.
You know what crosses it over to that checkout realm is when you blow up an extra 40 pounds.
Yeah. You went to Cabo looking like you 6 months pregnant.
He was hungry and
oh, he does do this. What's that thing he do?
He eating cereal too fast.
One.
And that motherfucker.
He was going to look. He's going to buffets doing it. He wasn't just eating cereal. Clip. He's going to buffets.
Listen.
And when you got money, let's be honest, you eat and do whatever you want.
I can only imagine it to be hard.
I think it's when you're at that level, when you're that great of an athlete, and he's a great athlete, I think there's extremes to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you see it all the time. Like, where it's like he's going to be in really great shape, or he's going to be he's going to give it his 100 and be in great shape, or he's going to be shitty and be 40 pounds overweight. Like you see it all the time with athletes. They're just extremists. Like a lot of times they can be extremists. And I just think he's probably one of those type of athletes. Like it's all or nothing type deal.
I don't think that's a far off comparison to make. I definitely don't think that's a far off comparison to make. So, okay. So with that being said, what would be a good stat line in yards for Zeke in this game?
And against
not,
Bucks, they got great.
What would be good? What do you see him getting? Fuck, what would be good? Let me ask you what you see him getting against the Bucks.
70 yards, 1 touchdown.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking. Maybe, yeah, I'm gonna give him 71 touchdown. I think they're gonna have to
70 yards, 1 touchdown?
Yeah, 70 yards, 1 touchdown.
Okay. I think I'm going to give him... I think I'm going to give him 107.
With how many touchdowns, though? Or no touchdowns? Bucks D that good? They do have good... now they do have good defense now.
I think
defensively...
I think he gets 2.
2.
But see, I feel like if he gets 2, he doesn't get 107.
I disagree.
Like if he gets 2, it's 118. 118 and 2 touchdowns, or 107 and 1 touchdown.
But see, I just can't. I feel like if he gets 2, he getting 3. Is it gonna be that type of game? I don't know if they gonna let
I don't think
him have that type of game. No, that's just my opinion.
I don't think Dallas will. As much as they like to run their quarterback, I don't think Dallas will. And the only reason why I say that is because once again, I feel like Dak feels like he has something to prove. So I don't think he's going. I only say 2 because I think he's going to break 1 for like 12 yards type shit.
He's going to get him 1. I feel confident he's going to get him 1. But it's just a matter of if he's going to get him 2, because I could see them. This might be an Amari Cooper game. Believe from the Dallas standpoint, It could be an Amari Cooper game.
Yeah, I see that being the case.
I think they're going to get out there and throw it, but we'll see what happens though. We will see what happens. I'm definitely giving. Did you write that down? 1 and 70. 1 touchdown, 70 yards. 1 touchdown, 70 yards.
Figure out.
I think the final score ain't gonna be nothing too crazy. It might be 28-21 Bucks.
Okay. You said 28-21 Bucks?
Yep.
Okay. All right. And what am I go with? 107 or 118 and a 2? I'm going to go with the 107 and the 1. 107. And then I said 1. And then I don't know the score of that motherfucker.
It ain't gonna be it should not be a blowout. I would be very surprised if it's a blowout.
I don't think so. I think it's gonna be 24-21 Dallas.
Okay.
Yeah. Win by a field goal. Yeah. And then Buster ass Malcolm Barber of the Year over there, probably over there trying to fix his son's edge up, but I would like to have his information. Yeah, I think Dallas got the chance to pull it out.
I think they have a chance. I don't think it's in their favor, but I think they have a chance.
Definitely not in their favor.
They got a chance for sure.
But you already know how it go. When you the number 1 champs, everybody gunning for you. Every game's a tough
Yeah,
game.
but I don't feel like they're coming into. I feel like this
This is
is
Dallas'
like some
Super
chance.
Bowl. You playing on primetime
Mm,
TV. You're not
they're
playing
always
in the
prime.
Super Bowl, so this is the only time you get to play a Super Bowl champ. Well, you know what I mean. National TV. It's on the big
Like
stage.
this
It's
is
not
they get to make a name for
right. It's
themselves.
not just your regional game.
I don't
Everybody
think
gets to
that they're
see it.
gonna. My thing is, I don't think the Bucks are coming into it. Like, I don't think they have any fear of Dallas, honestly, and I think that that's just gonna work in their favor. Like, I think they think they're gonna go out there. They're the better team. They're gonna go out there and just do what they need to do. Like, I don't think they have any fear
I don't
of
think they do
this
either.
team.
I think that's their downfall, though.
No, I think I think that's a benefit for them. I don't think they're gonna slack because it's the first game of the season. They're gonna be excited to play, but like I said, I don't think they have any fear either. So if you are confident and you're not slacking, it's going to be a hard team to beat.
I think it's going to be a big game for Micah Parsons.
Okay.
I think Micah
Not familiar.
Parsons, from Penn State,
What position?
linebacker. He went to Dallas, didn't he? I think I'm remembering that correctly.
I think this is a big game for Dak.
Let me double check. I'm pretty sure I'm remembering that correctly, though. You said Dak. Of course, it got to be a big. I don't think it has to. Yeah, no, it does. It has to be a big game for Dak because I think Dak is one of those ego guys. Because if I'm not mistaken, he came out in 2017 or 18.
Yeah, I think this is what is
This is
somewhere around there. I was gonna
third or
say
fourth
fourth. It's probably his fourth
I
year.
think it's his fourth. That's
Who
what
y'all
I'm
talking
saying.
about?
Dak. It's his fourth
Dak,
year. He came out in 17, right?
he's been in the league for a while now. Let me see.
No, this got to be 4.
Dak
4,
Prescott,
5.
he came into the league in 2016.
16. Ooh, I'm bullshitting. Yeah, he
That's
went
why
to
I said
Dallas.
he's been in the league for a minute.
I was about to
Yes.
say this 4 or 5.
But yeah, it was his second year. Then it was his 2017, kind of ended the 2018 year. He had a couple bad games in the beginning of the season, and people started questioning him. And you could tell he was down on himself for the rest of the season because he didn't live up to what everybody was talking about, especially coming out that first year. So then in the third year, about halfway through it, he started coming back around, and you could tell he was getting his confidence back. So I say that to say, if he does blow this game, I can see him getting low on himself just because he came back off an injury, he overdid his shoulder, and then he didn't show up in the first game of the season, are the first 3 things that you dealt with coming off your contract. That big contract extension. I think the inadequacy starts kicking in.
I don't think that he can blow this game too much with his abilities. I don't think he's going to drop that low.
No.
If anything, he gets a little leeway because of who he's playing. He's playing the Super Bowl champs, one of the best defenses in the league, if not the best defense in the league. And it's your first game back from injury. So if there's a game where he doesn't produce, this will be the one that he would want to make. You know what I'm saying? Like this will be the one where he's going to kind of get a pass, if that makes sense.
No, you're right. No, you're absolutely correct. That's another reason.
So I don't feel like he can blow this game. I don't know that I've seen him. When you say blow the game, like he's not expected to win. So if he gets down to the 2-yard line, makes a bad pass, and it's the end of the game, he kind of blew it. But at the same time, him making it that far, I don't really think he can blow this game, if that makes sense.
No, I know what you mean. Not to the public. It's almost like the David and Goliath match, almost, where it's like we don't expect you to win, but if your slingshot is there, Dak Prescott.
It's more than that, though. Like that's why I'm saying, like, I don't really feel like he can blow the game because, like, if he comes out, he throws 4. Possibly,
he can't do himself.
he's not being realistic if he feels like I'm for sure supposed to win this game. Then I feel like he's not being realistic because he hasn't played in so long. So he's not even in the habit of playing. And you know what I'm saying? Like all that stuff matters. So I feel like if he is coming out with the expectation of I'm supposed to win this game and then gets down on himself for not winning it, then I would be a little weary of him to begin. You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't want that mentality.
You gave him the contract. You gave him the contract. It's over.
But
now.
I don't think that's his mentality. I think he wants to win. I think he's going to do what he can to win, but I don't think he's supposed to win. I don't think he's feeling like he's supposed to win.
Is he tried to be Kyrie Irving too early. Kyrie Irving came out that year before LeBron came and was like, I'm like top 3 point guards in the league. And then,
but he definitely is.
That's what I'm saying. And he ended up proving it over that time. Dak said that too early, and then all this started happening, and now it's to the point where you have to prove it. It's more than just coming back from an injury. Now you got to prove what you said you was all this time. You finally got the money to say that you are. Let's see what you are on the field. And I think in his head, regardless of who he's playing, if he makes those mental mistakes, those bumbled plays, regardless if it's against the number 1 defense in the league, he's going to get down on himself, and I think you'll see that translate to the rest of the Cowboys season.
I think you're pushing it a little bit. I don't think
I am being hard on him, but I think he's being hard on himself. I don't think
he might be hard on himself, but I don't think he's going to be hard on himself game 1. First game of the season, Super Bowl champs, and I'm coming back from injury. I don't think he's going to be hard on himself in that way. And if he is, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think he's going to be hard on himself to where he goes into a negative space. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's going to be the result of this game. No matter what happens, he would have to really do something just like goofy, you know what I mean, to get on himself.
I hope not
about the game 1.
Right,
man. It's just chalk that 5 up, man. Give that man his lunch money.
I think he got that. And that motherfucker work from home. I'll give.
No, you bet $15. You're gonna be out $15 next time we talk.
Well, listen, if Mal get 10 out of me, I'm not giving it to him. I'm giving 5 to my niece and 5 to my nephew.
That works for me either way.
Right. Don't ask for nothing this week. Don't ask for nothing this
from
week.
Your daddy, from me.
Oh, snap.
But Mal, Zeke, rushing stats out the gates. Give me an estimation on if he what you think his yards are and any touchdowns, and then give me a estimated score on the game.
Rushing yards, any touchdowns? Okay. I'm gonna say Zeke rushes for about 90 yards.
Okay.
And
he was listening to me.
And I'm gonna say he gets at least. I'll say 2 touchdowns.
Woo! Now listen. Hold on.
Goal line touchdowns.
Wow. Hold on. No. If he gets 2 touchdowns, I feel like you need to backtrack on if the Cowboys that the Cowboys are going to lose.
Right.
If Zeke gets 90 yards, 2 touchdowns, that ain't gonna be it. You know what I'm saying?
If Zeke gets 2 touchdowns, I think Dak gets 2 in the air too.
Dak is gonna throw some touchdowns as well. So if you're saying that the Bucks are giving them all that, you gotta reconsider your thoughts on the Cowboys.
I'm talking 2 goal line touchdowns. Anybody can score a goal line. Hell, either one of us if we just jump over the top.
But you think Dak?
I get it, but then you still got to factor in Dak getting a couple touchdowns himself. Or are you saying he's not going to get no touchdowns?
I mean, I don't think he's not. I mean, I can see him not, but I think he'll get at least one. I was gonna say one, but I was being nice saying two. But I think realistically he'll get at least one. At least one.
So that's putting them in the 21 range. So my thing is, you feel like the Bucks are going to score more than 4 times?
Yeah, hell yeah. Antonio Brown, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans.
Antonio ain't on there.
And they re-signed Antonio Brown this offseason. What you mean?
Yeah, they did. They signed Antonio Brown.
Did they?
He's still playing. Yeah, he's still playing.
The whole band is back, bro.
They brought everybody back. They're thirsty to win another championship. They're very thirsty to win another championship.
The whole band is back, Cliff.
They brought back everybody. I think they said it was like the most players brought back after a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I heard that.
But like I said, they did. He's back. He ain't going nowhere. Who are you gonna cut him for? He's still Antonio Brown. Not saying he's great in his prime, but it's like who's a better 3? Wide receiver, and you ain't gotta. You know what I'm saying? Like he's there to play. It ain't even about the money.
I mean,
but the point of the matter is, you guys are Malcolm. You're basically saying like, hey.
Bless you.
All right. You're basically saying like the Bucks is about to run it up.
Hell yeah.
So
you feel that way? Because
Like
when's the last time Tom Brady threw? When's the last time Tom Brady threw 5 touchdowns?
I'm gonna say 42-14.
When's the last time Tom Brady threw 5 touchdowns? Not saying that it has to come that way, but
it might come off defense. Brady, you forget the Bucks got a defense.
No, I didn't forget that. That's why I said we gotta cut Dak Prescott some slack, because I don't think this is the game to get down on yourself about. If anything, if he comes out there and he loses 21-28, that you don't get down about that. That's something you should be like, hold on, I just ran with the Super Bowl team. They got one of the best defenses. So it's like, my thing is, I don't think this is going to be the game to push him to a depression. But what I'm saying is, what you're saying, Malcolm, is, because I'm saying that it's going to be close. So if the Bucks win, it's only going to be by a touchdown. That's 4. I'm giving them 4 touchdowns. I'm giving Cowboys 3. You're saying that I'm saying you think they're going to get more than 4 touchdowns. You're like, yeah, I think that's a bold claim right there.
Said 6.
I think that's a bold claim that they get 6 touchdowns. Now, I'm willing to bet you $5 they don't.
6 touchdowns?
I'm willing to bet you $5 they don't get more than 4 touchdowns. You think about that.
We'll see.
That's not a bet. You can't be like, yeah, we'll see.
But listen, I got the inside scoop, Britt. I already even watched the Hard Knocks on the Cowboys this offseason. I watched every episode.
And what's your
conclusion?
They suck. They're gonna be trash. Their defense. Listen, Diggs, Stephon Diggs' little brother. I don't remember his first name. But he plays corner for the Cowboys. I think he's a rookie. Mm-hmm. So I got to give him that. But the defense looks, from a cornerback at least perspective, looks awful. Now, Micah Parsons from Penn State, the linebacker, looks great. That's just one player on defense, though. The secondary, suspect.
No, which is understandable, but you're still giving. If that's the case, then they're putting the ball in the air, and Tom Brady is throwing 5 touchdowns. And I'm just saying, when is the last time Tom Brady threw 5 touchdowns?
It's probably some point last season.
Bet you. I mean, I'm gonna look it up, but I seriously doubt it.
Let me see.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I seriously doubt it. Seriously doubt he threw 5 touchdowns in a game.
It's been a minute, I'm sure. Let me see.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the lie about that, because I want to say I don't remember.
Mm-hmm. That's what it is. We don't remember. That's the thing. We don't remember. I feel like if he threw, and I could be wrong, because sometimes, I say stuff on this show and then I go back and look it up and like, oh my God, I was so wrong. You know what I'm saying? So I could be talking shit right now and I could be very wrong. But I'm just saying, even if he did, the likelihood of Tom Brady throwing 5 touchdowns, they're going to have to run the ball. They're going to have to get at least 2 running touchdowns. And no offense, I mean, it can happen.
I can't remember.
It can happen for sure, but I just
about last season, and I can't. Nothing standing out, but I'm not gonna say that didn't happen. I just can't think of any time particularly. But I also haven't seen enough Bucks games to run them down week for week.
5 touchdowns. Week 4 last season. Tom Brady 5 touchdowns against the Chargers. And they won. They only won 38-31. That was actually a close game.
He threw 5 touchdowns.
He threw 5 touchdowns.
Oh my God! Like I said, but still, even then, that's 1 out of what 16 games. How many games?
But hold on, the last 2 games of the season, he threw 4 touchdowns apiece.
But that's what I'm saying. I said I don't see them getting more than 4. I think they gonna throw. I think he gonna get at least 3. Maybe they run one in. Maybe I don't really like their run game, but it's.
Oh no! I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was gonna say, but so you are banking on them getting, you know what I'm saying, him getting at least 4, maybe 5 touchdowns. I just don't see it happening.
And then you got to think now, like that's the reason why I asked that question last week about like, are we seeing like the running back position become obsolete? Because you got to think like flat out run plays in the NFL nowadays. We went from like a high 48, 49 to like 33% of the time running. And that's a good average for a lot of teams. Some teams are all passing for real.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't, like I said, I didn't care for the Bucks run game. It could have been their running backs. No offense to them, but shoot, I don't know. You know, I think it just depends. Fournette? And they got another dude. Is it Jones? I could be wrong.
Aaron,
it's not Aaron. It's
Ronald Jones.
Something like that. But I mean, my team is a running team, so it's like I'm not seeing. You know, the Browns gonna run. We gonna run. We gonna run. We gonna run. And we gonna loosen a few things up.
I still believe in that though. When you can drive a ball down somebody's throat,
I think the Bucks like to run based off of the pass. Not with Tom Brady there. Before they had Tom Brady, the Bucks do like to run. They just really ain't had no. They ain't had no. Yeah, but I mean, let's be real.
I like Jameis. He's immature at that position.
He was immature.
I think he still is, but I think he's working out of it. But
he still had Mike Evans, and he was still throwing it. But like I said, the Bucks used to be a very balanced team as far as run pass. In my opinion, they were pretty balanced.
To hide his immaturity.
No, I think they just had they had some weapons. They had some weapons for a second. He's gonna throw some interceptions, but that's irrelevant in my opinion.
So if that's irrelevant. Take away that run, how many more interceptions do he throw?
I don't think that people are taking away their run though. I think that they just don't have the explosive running backs that they once had, and they haven't had that in like the past 3 years. They haven't had an explosive running back because they had my dude for a second and he was producing. Yeah, damn, what was his name? I feel like he out the league now, but he did his thing. He came in as a rookie running back and was doing his thing. What is his name? I can't think of his name.
For what team?
Tampa.
Rookie running back was doing his thing.
Yeah, like 4 or 5 years, maybe like 5 years ago. He came in. He had a great rookie season. I'm gonna have to look it up now. Oh.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who you're talking about. For Tampa. Tampa hasn't had too many great running backs besides really Warwick Dunn. Mike Allstott was a fullback. Mike Allstott, the white dude.
They put him at a halfback 1 year, but he didn't play the whole year at that position.
Right. I can't think of too many.
He might have. He might have. It's now that I think about it, because I think he came out the next year trying to play halfback too, and that's the year he didn't play the whole
season.
Okay, they had Doug Martin. Doug Martin came out. He came out hot. He came out hot.
Yeah, I wonder what happened.
He came out hot, and they ran him for a couple years, and he kind of fizzled out. But they was running him. He had stats wise, he was up there with the top running back. So they was running Doug Martin. I feel like it was like his rookie year. He came out real hot. They ran him for about 3 years, and then he kind of fizzled out. But like I said, they were run heavy. You know what I'm saying? Like they had the weapons in a sense. That's why Tom Brady there. They had almost everything that you needed. By the time he got there, they just needed to bring in him and bring in a running back, and that's what they did, and they made it work. But they had the pieces. For sure.
Nah, you can't deny that. You definitely can't deny that. Who we got week 1, Mark? Let's put up some predictions and then we gonna knock it out.
The week 1 schedule?
Yeah.
Right,
we should just do what's the upset? What's the week 1 upset? The biggest upset.
What if some games are even though to where it's not really considered an upset?
No,
well, I mean, I'm saying call out what you think is going to be the biggest upset.
The biggest upset. Okay, I got you. Okay, I'm scrolling through. So, okay, let me just throw this out here. Week 1, you got Cowboys, Bucks, Seahawks and Colts, Jaguars, Texans.
Hold on. Run it back real quick.
Okay.
You said Cowboys, Bucks, as we know.
Yep. Seahawks and Colts.
Okay.
Jaguars, Texans. Eagles, Falcons.
I already know what mine is. So
Chargers, Washington. Steelers and the Bills. 49ers, Lions. Vikings, Bengals, Jets, and the Panthers. Cardinals, Titans. Browns, Chiefs. Dolphins, Patriots.
You said Browns, what? Chiefs?
And the Chiefs.
Okay.
Dolphins and the Patriots. Broncos, Giants. Packers, Saints. Bears, Rams, and the Raiders and Ravens.
Y'all already know what my upset is. Browns over Chiefs.
The Chiefs?
Browns over Chiefs. Browns over Chiefs. We coming in hot. Woo! And I can't wait to see Odell out there. I miss you, boo.
And look, and he gonna be hurt as soon as he step on the
field. You crazy. Man, listen, we already talked about this, and I ain't about to get into Browns today, but this is not a year where he can afford to be hurt.
He can't afford to be hurt, period. Brittany, he's the same age as me. He's going on 29.
Listen, he ain't had stat-wise, he has not had a good season in years. So he can't, and like I said, he might have took the Ezekiel route last year with his injury. Not saying that he was faking or anything like that, but
I don't say he was faking, but he definitely
he could have. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those things where it's like, oh man, I'm out for the rest of the season. Probably not expecting the Browns to do much, and look what they did. So my thing is, if he does not produce this year, it is a wrap. His stock will go down to if it's on a scale of 1 to 100, he'll be down at a $20 bill. He will absolutely be down at a $20 bill because you got to understand he's getting older. He's gone multiple seasons without producing, and then if your team can get it done without you, your stock, you don't have anything to hold on to. If the Browns would have stunk it up last year, then he could be like, you know what? I wasn't out there. That's why we didn't make the playoffs, et cetera, et cetera. But they didn't. So it's like, what can you hold on to? Listen, if he does not produce this year, he was, what they give him, an 85, 86 on Madden? The man will be a 73.
I think he's like an 89 on Madden.
He could be 73.
He absolutely will.
Nah,
He'll
he
go
ain't gonna be no
73.
And if he's
73.
not, man, listen, if he ain't a
not
73,
even Le'Veon Bell's at 73, and he's
they didn't make
He
Le'Veon.
gonna
That's a
get
running
there.
back. Listen, but my
But-
point is, even if he's not, let's not even do Madden ratings because it's not even about necessarily that. It's about where are you going to be in the standpoint of the managers and the coaches. How are they going to value you? They're not going to have any value for you. You're going to be up there in age, and it's going to be like, well, shoot, I'm going to have to pay him. He's going to want to get paid because he feels like he got a little name behind himself. So I'd rather go ahead and take a rookie than dealing with you, and that's what he's facing this year.
Right.
Is my stock gonna drop to where people rather take a rookie over me? And he has to make sure that his name stays Odell Beckham Jr. coming from that line, that lineage we was talking about, that hereditary. Right. You know what I'm saying? He gotta uphold his name. And like I said, this is not a year where he can afford for anything to happen besides him getting his stats. So, with that being said, Browns for the win Sunday.
As far as the upset go,
Browns on Odell Beckham's back. That's how I'm calling that.
But
that's I'm calling it like off the back when you shoot a shot, maybe like off the backboard. I'm calling it off the backboard, off Odell Beckham's back. That's the win. That's how we get in the win.
They better not. I don't think they should.
we shouldn't get the win.
No, I don't think y'all should. Even if y'all can get it off Odell's back, y'all shouldn't get it off Odell's back.
I don't think it's going. I don't think that's the game plan. But what I'm saying is he's going to show up and he's going to produce. Right. That's what I'm saying. So I'm just talking shit, but I'm saying he will be present. I'm giving him a touchdown and 110 yards.
And the only reason why I say that is we don't want to see Baker go back into the relying on Odell situation and fuck up.
Nah, he doesn't. And I feel like because I feel like Baker is smart enough to know like that is not going to get him anywhere. And of course, it's all about self-preservation. So he's going to do what's going to make him look good first. So with that being said, I think he is going to try to get him a couple. And but he ain't gonna force it like he was trying to before. But you gotta understand now they got chemistry. They have gotten their reps in. So this is a completely different ball game than what we've seen before. They got time together. As a matter of fact, I've just seen something that said that they all spent Labor Day in Denver, I think, together.
You know what they was doing? They didn't smoke their game book knowledge away.
I hope not. I hope they was focused. I hope they had their Fiji Waters,
Beckham and Baker all,
and they just, you know what I'm saying, and enjoyed themselves and got some passes up. But I think it's a different ball game.
They may have pulled Phil Jackson and dropped some acid, and then the game just came to them, and they was like, "I know your steps now."
Acid. That's the last thing somebody should want to do.
You heard about that, though. That's how they said Phil Jackson became the coach he was, and he wrote that book, and he was off acid for like...
Hell no. I ain't hearing nothing like that.
Dropped acid for like 30 days straight or some shit like that.
Ain't nobody do no damn acid for 30 days straight. 30 days straight, man.
Listen, that's what they said in the book. I don't know.
I'm going to say it right now. In this day and age, don't do no drugs, man. The way they lacing stuff.
I'm not promoting
don't even
no damn acid.
Don't think about doing nothing the way that they lacing stuff. I know my crew, the Browns, was not in Denver doing that or wherever they was over the Labor Day weekend. They was not. No, they wasn't doing that.
They dropped some shrooms and they was like,
nope, they lacing shrooms, man. Now they lace everything.
They dropped some shrooms and they was like, I can see your routes. I can see your feet running without you there, and I know where you're gonna be.
Listen, the chemistry was already there before they had this weekend. So, like I said, that's my prediction for this Sunday. That's my upset. That's my biggest upset. Is going to be the Browns take the Browns take Kansas City, and it ain't going to be easy. It's going to be a shoot out.
I think y'all got the. But see, I think you kind of just set that question up because when I say upset, I don't really consider that a big upset. No, that's
a big upset.
I don't think it's
because you think about it in the sense of who put us out the playoffs last year.
Right. No,
Chiefs.
And
no,
then
right.
and then you also got to think about it. You also got to think about it like this too. The second thing, the Browns season opener record is trash. I feel like they haven't. I forget. I just seen it the other day. It was like something stupid. Like
Y'all just
in
start out
16
slow.
years. No, like they haven't won their first game in like 16 years.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, it's like some. It's like it's
I don't
the record is.
believe in stats like that, though.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, but I mean, it is what it is. Like, if they're opening up the season against top tier teams, that makes a lot of sense. But so it's like,
No, definitely.
like I'm saying, I'm just naming a few things that are against that makes it an upset. And then on top of the fact that we're the Browns, nobody really expects us to win. Okay, we had a good season, but can the Browns do it again? People don't expect the Browns to do it again. At the end of the day, they feel like the Browns will find a way to fuck shit up. So
No, you
with
are
that
right.
being said, to me, it's an upset. If we come out
Yeah.
game one and
No,
we
it's an
beat
upset.
Kansas
It's
and we
just not
beat
the
Kansas City,
biggest.
it is the biggest. Think about
Wow.
tell me what would, out of the list that he just named, what would be a bigger upset?
The Saints versus the
Green Bay?
Packers.
That's not is that an upset when we don't even know what type of player Aaron Rodgers is going to be?
What?
We know he's
But
great,
Jameis
but let's be
Winston
real.
starting
We
to
know
be
that he
upset.
we know that he's leaving.
And they lost what's his
Drew
name?
Brees.
No,
Michael Thomas.
yeah.
Well, he was never back. So they're not even. He's not even included.
We mean they lost.
Okay, I'll take that.
Thomas.
I'll take that as an upset.
He's not. He's out.
He's out like half the season already.
Yeah, he
got
got
hurt
surgery.
again?
He never came. He hasn't been back yet
Well,
from
he
his
got surgery.
last year's injury.
He got surgery like last month or so.
Why did he wait so late to have surgery? I don't know. Because he was out most of last season, or at least half of last season.
Because
So
didn't he come back? I think he came back in the preseason and re-injured himself.
I'd have to do my research. I haven't.
Because I think
I
he
haven't
got
known that
surgery
he's been
like
back.
a month ago.
I haven't known that he's been back. But I mean, like I said, I haven't done my research. No, I haven't done my research. I thought he was still injured from last year.
Yeah, he's got an ankle injury.
Yeah, that's the same thing he had last year, though.
He'll miss the first 5 games of the season. It says.
Yeah, he's been about to miss
Right.
half the season almost.
But did they say he had
And then when he
surgery?
comes
'Cause
back,
I
you
know it was
don't
the
even
same
come back
injury.
like you don't even come back good. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like he's missed so much
He
football.
gonna
Like
have
he ain't even
limited
about to.
minutes anyway.
He ain't even about to be hot.
He had
If he
surgery, but it's late, like you said.
if he
Yeah, he
gets hot
re-injured
again, it won't be till next year. He's missed so much football. You almost talking about 2 seasons at this point.
And then you got to think from that wide receiver position. If it's something like your ankle, you even when you get back to 100%, you still need a little bit more time to trust yourself.
Man, and he got a
If you
new
don't
quarterback.
make them stops and them cuts and them breaks the
Man.
same way. When
The
you
question
know
is-
you just came off that
Like
ankle
Derrick
injury.
Rose.
Should we stick a fork in Michael Thomas?
That's
Is he
problem.
done?
No.
Should we stick a fork?
It's
No,
crazy.
listen
He's
though.
he's going to develop into a different wide receiver. That's all that. That's all
You got to
that happens.
factor in, man. Listen, what was I watching the other day when it was basically like, listen, I think we may have crossed over a little bit. When you are an NFL player, right? Especially somebody of their caliber, somebody of his caliber, and you miss a year of football, you never come back and be the same. Like you're just not. We talked about this with Le'Veon Bell. Like he sat out a year. Le'Veon Bell was a beast before he sat out.
Well, I think
He's not a beast now.
I think it's different. Well, that's different though. I think running back.
No,
is definitely
like,
different.
I
Running
don't
back's
think it
definitely different
matters
than
when it
receiver.
comes to. I don't think it matters when it comes to that level of play. I think he's going to
Well,
come back and be decent, but are you going to be the
it's
player
the
that
amount
you
of-
were before?
You got to think like this. It's the amount of steps, right? Like you're losing steps. The more you're out, you're losing your explosivity. The more steps you take, you're losing all that. So when you come back, you can't expect to be as fast, as explosive as you were. But when you're coming back as a Michael Thomas, think about all the other receivers that will never be as fast or as explosive as you are.
That's my
even
point.
coming back.
And there's running backs that are not as good as Le'Veon Bell, but in comparison to in comparison, hold on, in comparison to the player that he once was, that's what I'm saying. Like his trajectory has changed. Like Michael Thomas was the number one wide receiver in the league before he got injured. Now, no telling where he drops when he comes back. You know what I'm saying? Like what type of production he's going to have. And it's like he's just getting older as well. So it's like you can't really, I don't even, I'm a big fan of Michael Thomas, but it's just like, I don't know what type of player he's going to become, because even though he's going to be back this year, he does not have reps with.
Oh no, he's not going to be the same.
Yeah, so this year is a wash, right? But I'm just saying this year is a wash. Last year was a wash. So that's 2 years. That's 2 years that are pretty much getting ready to be a wash as far as his legacy goes. It's going to be a wash.
He won't accomplish enough for it not to be correct.
So now you're talking about 2 years that you did not build on your legacy as a wide receiver, and you're getting older. You're not getting younger. And then you're going to try and come back and play. So we really ain't even going to see what could potentially be the Michael Thomas that we know until next year.
But you can't compare him to Le'Veon Bell for a couple reasons.
I just use Le'Veon Bell as an example because he always sticks out in my mind as far as somebody who I felt like could potentially be one of the greater running backs. And I mean, to me, the way Le'Veon Bell used to run was so different, and he was just like ahead, not ahead of his time, but he was ahead of most players. But I don't see that same spark from him that I used to when he was a running back for the Steelers. Now, like I said, I just feel like in the NFL, and this goes back to just we can take it back to Cam Newton. Cam Newton got COVID last year, and he was doing good, and he was just like, man, the team kept moving, I didn't, and it just it threw me back. And that's just, and you're talking about like what, 14 days out of his year that took him back. So now you're talking about a man being out almost 2 seasons, kind of. He's not going to be the Michael Thomas that we know. And I don't even know that he'll get back to even being a factor where it's like, hey, you got to really, really worry about that guy.
But I mean, I just feel like,
think of it like this: Antonio Brown. Let's use Antonio Brown.
There's less there, but regardless, even comparing it to Cam Newton and Le'Veon Bell are both bad comparisons because
Antonio Brown. Let's use Antonio Brown.
That would be better.
Use him either, Brittany, because Antonio Brown is not as talented. He's talented, but he's not as talented as Michael Thomas.
You're crazy as hell.
He's not.
To say that Michael Thomas and Antonio Brown are not in the same category. Now Antonio
Brown is different.
No, not even then. Antonio Brown was a speedy wide receiver that could get open. I'll give him that. How many of those have we seen? Michael Thomas is on that Calvin Johnson type deal where he's gonna go up.
You don't think Antonio Brown was on that list as well?
He wasn't. He's only 5'8", 5'9".
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter though.
He wasn't.
Their play styles are different. Is what I'm saying.
That's expected. They're not the same person. But when you're talking about a top tier, anytime you can call yourself a top 5 wide receiver in the league, Antonio Brown could do that for multiple years.
Well, hell, Wes Welker was doing that too.
But people, even with Antonio, it don't matter. It has to be in the right organization, the right program. You can't just put an Antonio Brown on any program and it work. Now you get a Michael Thomas, and yes, you can.
Yeah.
On any program, he's going to
listen.
His. But wait. Well, but all
Antonio Brown would get his as well. If he would have.
No, I agree.
He's a different player after you. That's my whole point.
I don't think he would have been able to get it anywhere in his prime because the number one thing that got him all those stats was the deep ball. He burnt everybody on the deep ball, and Roethlisberger hit him on that deep ball. Now, if you don't have a quarterback that's hitting you on that deep ball, Antonio Brown was not the best route runner. He's too small to catch it over the middle and overpower people.
Yes.
So he had to make distance in a long route. And if you don't have
we know that they're two different players, right? So my thing is, Antonio Brown is going to specialize in the things that he specializes in, and so is Mike Thomas. But my point is, once you take that time off, you're just not coming back, and you're not the same player.
But
that's my point.
That 50% of Michael Thomas is still better than 30 to 40% of the wide receivers in the NFL, and that's
he'll be and I hope I eat my words because I like the guy. He's a Buckeye, et cetera, but he will be mediocre at best.
People thought the same thing with KD. KD came out busting.
I do kind of agree.
Man, what hold on now. When you say KD came out busting, he didn't even get to really play until the end of the season. We waited so long. He's basically he has the same type of injury that Michael Thomas has that has carried over from one season to the next, and it almost seems like
he's still
no. I'm not taking anything away from Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas is amazing, but what I'm saying is when he comes back, he will not be the Michael Thomas that we know. He's not going to be the number one wide receiver in the league.
She's right.
He's not even going to be the top five number. He's not even going to be the top five receiver in the league.
Well, two reasons, I guess, but two reasons that equal one reason in my mind. One being you don't have Drew Brees anymore. Two being you're coming back from that injury without Drew Brees anymore. So now that might be, you know what? Let me stop. Let me pull back for a second, because that might actually be a benefit to Michael Thomas and Jameis Winston and them. Is now you get to recalculate his steps as he gets to in real time. You know what I mean? Because a quarterback needs to know your steps on a route, when you break on that route, so I know when you're 2 steps ahead of that receiver, or how fast you hit that streak, so I know by the time he gets that 20-yard mark, he's going to be 2 steps ahead of him, I can release. Now those quarterbacks get to see that as he comes back, as opposed to try to adjust to that, you know what I mean, coming in.
I get what you're saying.
It's frustrating to a wide receiver when it's like, you can't hit me, bro. I've been running the same route and you're just not hitting me right. Now they both have to come back together. That might be a good thing.
No, I mean
it's going to be a developmental thing.
It could be, but again, that just goes into one of my reasons why you're talking about time that they will need together. So it's not going to happen this season. It's going to have to be something that's going to happen in the off season, which that's why this season is going to be a wash. Yeah, so now they're not even getting to that point.
A wash, but I agree with what you're saying.
They're not even getting to that point of having any type of chemistry. And we just talked about the same thing with Baker Mayfield and Odell Beckham Jr. Like, they didn't have any time together. They've had time now, so this is a different story.
Right.
They didn't have any time together when Baker started throwing to him. So he didn't really, you know what I'm saying? He was forcing it and it was obvious. Right. So my thing is, when Michael Thomas comes back, he has to build time with Jameis Winston.
He's going to come out the gate and be an immediate X factor, but to your point, he's not going to do enough to not for this season not to
well for him to be the player that we know him to be.
Right,
he's going to have to build some chemistry with Jameis Winston. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's going to have to, and to be honest, I think that Jameis Winston is a gunslinger. Like, I think he can throw the ball and he will put it up there for Michael Thomas, and Michael Thomas actually might like that because he might be a little bit more risky than Drew Brees, right. But he just has to get back to the point where he's a factor. And like I said, age is playing a role. Michael Thomas is not a spring chicken no more. And then you ain't even talking about him. Yeah, but you still not even talking. You still not even talking about him really coming back until next year. How old is Michael Thomas going to be? What, 29?
Yeah, he's 28. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm saying he's going to be 29 years old. Come on now.
It depends on when he comes back from the injury. Because if he comes back,
we see it a million times.
Still got 2 to 3 more years.
We see it a million times, but my point is, these wide receivers, I don't care what position it is, you are a great player and you take time off, the game does not stop. And Cam Newton,
right.
Bell, who did I just name before? Antonio Brown, even though they're all different players. Same thing even happened with Dez Bryant. Like,
listen,
great
the
player
difference-
that could not catch back up once they had time away from the game.
The
They
difference,
just beat.
especially with a running back, is a wide receiver always has the advantage because the cornerback or the DB on you has to predict.
No,
your
I
route.
get it,
The
and I'm not
running
saying
back-
that he's not going to be. He won't be in the league. Of course, he'll be in the league, and he'll still be a starter. But what are you going? I'm just saying those stats that we used to get out of him.
You don't
That
think
throw
he'll be
the
a
ball
top
up,
five?
he's going to go get it.
You don't think he'll be top 5
For
wide
sure.
receiver?
No, he's not. I don't think he'll be top 5 again. I don't think he'll be a top 5 receiver again.
To be, but I'm just saying that it's easier to see when a running back or a quarterback loses their first step because they usually have to hit a hole or get away from a pursuit. What wide receivers don't do that. A good route runner can be slow. Look at Wes Welker. Look at all of those players. Those were great route runners, but they weren't the fastest in the league. But you didn't know where the fuck they were going to go when you were guarding them as a DB. So if you come back off an injury and you lose a step, yeah, the game's still not going to be as fast. But when you're faster than the Wes Welkers and you know I can still run a route on this ankle, you're going to be more effective than them as well. And they had good seasons also.
Listen, we're talking about effectiveness in comparison to the level of greatness that you were at before you got injured. That's what I'm saying. I think he's going to be effective. You know what I'm saying? Like Jarvis Landry is an effective wide receiver. He's a great slot receiver. But is he a top 5 receiver? No. That's what I'm saying. Like his level of his level of comparison is going to drop when he comes back. And it's unfortunate that he's been out almost, what will feel like 2 seasons. He's crossing over seasons, unfortunately.
Yeah.
With a new quarterback. So that's automatically going to take him into season 3. And he's, like I said, he's going to be close to 30 years old. So no, I don't expect him to come back and be a top 5 wide receiver after this.
I think he can. I think it's definitely a possibility, but once again, I think it depends more so on your rehab from the injury than necessarily the position.
Well, we gonna see.
Because a lot of people can snap back. That's the difference. Is those are pro athletes. Some people can snap back and be damn near 100%. They may not hit 100, but they'd be like, I'm 95. And that 95 compared to a lot of other pros 100 is still going to be higher than that. Especially when you think of it on a DB's end.
He'll be in the starting line.
We starting a whole bunch of young DBs and they're learning on the job. Back in the day, it was so many DBs in the league that you sat some. They didn't get to play.
He'll be in the lineup. I'm with you.
I mean, if you're saying that Odell's going to come back and he's going to ball out, and he's been through way more significant injuries than Michael Thomas, and they're the same age, I'm thinking Michael Thomas has the better chance, is what I'm saying.
I disagree.
Of course, he's on the Browns. So
No, that has nothing to do with it. The reason why I'm disagreeing is because Michael Thomas's time away from the game is greater than Odell Beckham Jr.'s.
Well. It depends on how you add Odell's up, because Odell didn't play a full season before he re-injured himself and went back out.
Hold on. Odell only got injured one time.
No, he got injured in New York.
I'm only counting them with the Browns. I'm talking about with one team. Hold on, listen to what I'm saying though. Listen to what I'm saying. You've never seen Odell Beckham Jr.'s injury cross over 2 seasons. That's what I feel like is going to be the biggest downfall for Michael Thomas. He was injured last year. He injured this year. And the change in personnel. So what I'm saying is you got Odell Beckham Jr., he got injured, but everything else was already in place. There's no change in personnel. He's still got the same quarterback. He's still pretty much lining up with the other same wide receivers. So there's really no change as far as that goes. What I'm saying is, but hold on though, even with absolutely not. Absolutely not, because what you yeah, but that's the biggest thing in the NFL. You cannot give up time. Time is the biggest thing. If we were talking about it,
we would have to add up the total time each player was out in order to accurate, and then add up. That's a lot.
It's more than that though. It's more than that, because there's never been a time where Odell Beckham Jr. didn't play a portion of last season. I think he got injured. What, game 4?
Come back before you're ready.
Right, that's true.
No, I don't think.
What you play.
I don't think you should. I don't think you should come back before you're ready. That's not the point. My point is with the NFL, and it's greater in the NFL than it is with the NBA. When you miss time, it's kind of like it's the acceleration for the time that you miss is greater. So, for example, you got like they say, you got dog years, right? You're almost operating in dog years when it comes to the NFL.
No,
it's not the same. It's not the same as missing 30 games in the NBA.
No, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like so what I'm saying is the catch up is just so hard because the game keeps moving. And but it's one thing. Hold on, no, I'm not saying that he can't. No. Who can do it?
Odell, yeah.
Odell did not miss the majority of 2 seasons.
But what I'm saying is that may be better, because if you come back before
absolutely
you're fully
not
healed,
okay, that's another factor. But we're not saying he should come back early. I'm saying that he's missing a lot of time, and then the time that you got to factor in the time that he's missed is already putting him at a disadvantage. And then the bigger disadvantage is he's coming back to a new quarterback that he has to build chemistry with. We've seen it with Odell Beckham Jr. and Baker Mayfield. They had no chemistry. That played a factor in how the games were rolling. So now that they're going to have some chemistry, we're going to see what the change is. But my thing is, not only did he miss big chunks of multiple seasons, he's coming back to different personnel and he has to build chemistry with them, which is going to take time itself. So you're almost talking about 3 chunks of a season, in my opinion.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you're. I feel like you're reaching, but it could be.
I'm not reaching. If you guys don't think that that's going to play a role, you're crazy, because you got to remember that the last time that he played it's 2021, 22 season. He was out 2019 season. So what are we talking about? 2019 was the last time he really played a full season. His mind is going to be in 2019 in a sense. What's going on in 2019? The game changes so fast. When he gets back, his first full season is going to be 2022-23. Think about it like that.
No matter how you flip it, Britt, I feel like most people would agree that Michael Thomas is the better wideout between the two.
That's not even a question. That's not the question.
So he's
the question
back and do Michael Thomas things either way.
Absolutely not.
It's an ankle injury. I mean,
absolutely not.
But I'm saying it's not like it's your ACL. It's your, you know what I mean?
Absolutely
no,
not.
I understand what you're saying. I would look at it as paid, as far as like pay. What would I be willing to pay for? And I feel like beyond anything else, Odell's injuries. And
I'm not comparing the two. I'm not comparing the two in the sense of abilities. I just used him. He's just one of multiple players that I use that I'm saying that you have never seen. You guys can't even give me an example of a wide receiver that has been injured for majority of the season and then came back and been the same caliber wide receiver that they were before.
Well, no, you don't.
T.O. went through it. T.O. went through.
I wouldn't say that he came back the same, though.
No, he came back worse than went to Dallas, but
I just asked for an example of a wide receiver that had that much time away from the game and came back and still was the trajectory of their career continued to go in the direction that it was before. You cannot name anyone.
We're not saying that. We're just saying that
no,
he was a
because
number 1 wide receiver in the league. And
yes,
he may
absolutely.
have the potential to come back as a top 5. That means he could be the 5th. 1 to 5.
Absolutely
the
not.
Drop off that
he will not be a top 5 wide receiver.
That's crazy.
He will not be a top 5 wide receiver. Yeah. Anything's possible. You got your freaking natures. You got your freaking natures that work hard, like Adrian Peterson, just freaking nature, athletic abilities, freaking nature, work ethic, and they will come back and they will shine in a sense. But
do that, and we gonna wrap up when I get back. Hold up.
But I don't think that I don't think he's going to be able to. I put it like this: I'm not going to count him out, but the likelihood is not in his favor. That's all I'm saying, Malcolm. And I like Michael Thomas, but I'm just saying realistically, when you spend time away from the game is constantly changing. It's constantly moving. So when you come back, you gotta adjust. But when you're coming back, you're adjusting and you're older, you're adjusting and you have new personnel. So the chances, the odds of him being that top 5 wide receiver that we once saw are going to be slim. And you got to factor in too that his injury is crossing multiple seasons. That is huge. That is a big factor.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that is that's going to play a major role in him getting back up to par, and he's going to be older. And you know, like I know as an older person, your body just don't work like it used to when you was 23, 24 years old.
I agree.
Especially when you start pushing that 30 mark. You crazy, Clint.
I don't know.
You crazy. I was just saying, listen, when you 23, 24 years old, and in comparison to being closer to 30, your body just doesn't do what it used to do. You know that. We all know that. You'd be like, oh shit, back in the day, I know I would have had that. I would have turned and I would have been, you know what I'm saying? Like, but when it just don't work that way. And that's even being a top tier athlete.
I don't know because I feel like it's different when those are the movements you train for on a daily. Now we feel that way because let's be honest, even when we reach too fast for a cereal box on the refrigerator, we get a pop in our shoulder, we be like, oh, we getting old. But let's be honest, how many times do you train to reach fast for a cereal box? So it seems that way. But when your body is used to doing those movements, it becomes muscle memory. It becomes, that's what we do, even at an old age. That's why you see old players like Dominique Wilkins. Isn't he 70 or something? And
yeah, he's up there.
They just showed him dunking the other day because that's muscle memory at that point.
No, that's not the okay. So here, let me go back to what you said because it just kind of goes along with what I'm saying. You're talking about muscle memory when you're used to doing this. This is going to allow you to continue doing it, but you have to understand that this goes back to my point.
The injury can.
They're injured.
Yeah, the injury.
They're not doing. He's not getting up every day, running full speed off the line, running his routes and seeing who he can shake, et cetera, et cetera. He's not doing that. So what happens is time catches up to.
You know what I think it is?
Your person.
You know what I think it is, and then after.
And when he comes back, he will be 30. It ain't gonna be 26-year-old Michael Thomas. It's gonna be 30-year-old Michael Thomas.
I think my thing is I equate it to my own injury, and not to get into detail, but my own injury was pretty serious. Like, wasn't supposed to walk again type shit. And when I think about will and, like, you know, your determination to come back, it's not hard for me. I would say miracles happened. But when you're a professional athlete and you train for that, those don't have to be miracles. You may be able to come back 100%.
He'll be able to run.
Will he
be able to run as fast as he can run in 2019? Absolutely not.
It's possible.
Okay.
It's
we gonna
possible.
see. You know, this is one of those things where we just gonna have to bookmark it and come back to it in a year and a half.
5 regardless.
He will not be top 5 when he comes back. That's my whole point.
No,
not
he won't be
top
top 5 when he come back. Just because you got to think about all the young bucks coming up.
That's my point.
No,
he won't be top 5 again.
When you think about the young bucks coming up, he'll never be top 5.
Is that not what I've been saying this whole time? How dare you sit here and agree with me?
Well, it has to make sense before
I just sat here for 20 minutes breaking down that he won't be top 5 again. He'll be a great player, but he won't be top 5 again. And you put up a million arguments, you and Malcolm, just for you to turn around and agree that he won't be top 5 again.
I'm sticking with my guns. I'm sticking with mine.
Yeah, no, you can die on that ship yourself. When I think about all the young bucks coming up, I can't see it happening. No, I mean, it's possible, but I can't see it happening. But what we'll do is we'll wrap it up since we never finished the question. Malk, what's your biggest upset of week 1? And then I want y'all to hit the showers.
Okay. I
said Saints in Green Bay. The other one I was thinking was the one that came to me immediately was the Dolphins and the Patriots. But then I was thinking like Max still a rookie quarterback running them, so I don't really see
not an upset. Yeah.
Upset.
You called it. If the Saints beat the Packers, that would be pretty amazing.
My biggest upset of the week.
For sure. I'm with you on that. I mean, I'm not with you, but it is a good upset, if you get what I'm saying. I'm still rolling with my Browns.
Right. You got to. I get it.
I'm going to go with the Bengals over the Vikings.
I heard that one popped into my head, but I was thinking like not big enough.
Go Ohio. What are we even expecting out of the Bengals? I give it to them. I mean, I don't think it's bigger than the 2 that we named, but if the Bengals pull it off, then I feel like that's pretty cool because they really don't even have no super big time names. No offense to Joe Mixon, but and Joe Burrow.
Even with Joe Mixon,
they don't have the big time names, in my opinion. That were
but what if you see a good Burrows Chase connection?
That's why I said
there wasn't one in the preseason, but
I thought you was about to say
LSU.
Yeah, I was about to say
I was
the other dude, Henderson. Is it Henderson?
Yeah, no, I'm not even worried about them. I don't even think he's thinking about that dude for real. He got some people to throw to. He got Boyd and what's the other Higgins? Higgins. What's the other dude's name? Yeah, so I don't think he's thinking about them. I mean, he got a couple weapons, and they not no slouches.
Did Higgins? Did he stay with Cincinnati?
Who they got? They got Boyd and somebody. I feel like they got Higgins. I could be wrong. I know they got Boyd for sure. He's a good, wide receiver. I don't know if he's AJ Green in that sense, but he's a good wide receiver.
Well, we'll wrap it up for the week. Who is hitting the showers?
I gotta go, so I'm gonna do mine first because I gotta get out of here. But I actually wanted to flip the script.
Okay.
As far as a hit the showers, the opposite of hit the showers for me is like, you know what? Go for it. I'm rooting for you. And I watched this Shannon Sharp show this week, and he had T.O. on there. And I've been trying to figure out what Terrell Owens has been training for. And as we know now, he's trying to make it back into the NFL as a wide receiver.
Right.
So my go for it, which is the opposite of hit the showers, goes to T.O. Like
we'll give it a stay after practice.
Stay after practice. I really want to see
after practice unless he really like your ass. Otherwise, he's not wasting his time with you.
Well, I want him to stay after practice. I mean, I just want to see it happen. Not saying that he would be. His whole argument was that he could be effective in the sense of like I could be better than the number 2 wide receiver that you got or the number 3 wide receiver that you got. I know I'm better than him. I may not necessarily be a number 1 wide receiver anymore, but I know I can be more effective than the first, I can be in your top 3 set of guys. And that's him. He's pushing 50.
So if T.O. can do that, why can't Michael Thomas do it at 5?
Well, you got it. Hold on. Let me finish because we already talked about this. T.O. is a freak of nature, and if you think that anything about T.O. athletically is average, you're crazy as hell. His work ethic is crazy, and he has the build for it. You're talking about somebody right now that is running as if he's an Olympic runner every day. He's training for like if he was in the Olympics. That's not normal. And do you know the level of dedication and work ethic you need to even push yourself to do that? And you don't even necessarily have a set goal. It's not like, hey, I got a chance of getting into the league. Like, no, he's trying to do something that's never been done before.
Right.
So with that being said, he's using his own money to train. Most people ain't going to do that. On top of him already being a freak athlete in itself and him being at the age that he's in, he's almost 50. He looks great. And he's trying to make it back into the NFL. And if he does, that is amazing in itself. And even if he's a wide receiver number 3, or he's coming off the bench as a wide receiver number 4, you know what I'm saying? In that sense of as far as the lineup goes, like that's still an amazing feat. And yes, Michael Thomas can do the same thing and be a wide receiver number 3 or 4. That's my hit the showers.
Who you got, Mount? All right, Britt, we love you. Be safe.
Right, all right, I see y'all.
I see you Sunday.
See ya.
Man, I really don't have one, but I guess off the top of my head, man, I'm gonna go back to the whole Tebow situation, man. I tried to tell y'all it was a bad idea for him to try to get back in the league and play tight end, man.
It's never a bad idea to go for your goals, G.
Man,
he just fucked it up.
Tebow's what's so sad about Tebow, as you know, Cliff, is that he's you can tell he's such a great person.
Love him.
He's admirable, right? I respect him, but damn, all his plans seem to fail. I don't know what it is about him that his plans don't seem to work out.
I think the reason why I like him so much is I connect. I'm an inner Tebow.
Yeah,
he's a jack of all trades. He's good at everything he touches, so he doesn't know what to stick with.
But not good enough. That's the problem.
And I think that may be. I think I connect with him there too.
Right.
I think you're good enough to show up, but you may not be good enough to
be the guy.
And it's like, well, out of all things I'm good at, I don't know what to narrow it down to.
Right.
You know, I'll be hearing this for the rest of my life if I keep shooting, because shit. So I get with the Tebow.
Yeah.
But the difference is he got bread. I can't stop shooting.
Right.
My AK on drum mode, baby. He got drums in this bitch. I can't. This ain't no 30 round.
I'm gonna keep going.
I gotta keep shooting.
Right.
Till I get that Tebow money at least.
Listen.
But
yeah, who's your
so wait, who's hitting them? Tebow or us for assuming Tebow was gonna make it?
I never assumed Tebow was gonna make it. I was
So
one
us
of the
for
people.
assuming Tebow was gonna make it.
I'm gonna give it to Tebow and myself for my barber stuff. I heard them talk
Yeah,
about
you
me.
definitely gotta give it.
Look, I
to
heard
yourself.
I heard them talking. Look, they on FaceTime upstairs, showing off, talking and showing off his hair and talking. Hey, look, Cuddy, that was
listen,
punishment.
that's
That
my
was
nephew.
punishment. That
That's
was
my
punishment.
nephew, but he ain't right. That was
You
funny.
feel me?
All right.
Not to get off the
You might as
topic
well
real
have
quick.
gave him the motherfucking Carl
skins.
Winslow then.
Right. Yeah,
Just
right.
cut the whole middle out of that shit.
That's what I should have done, huh?
That's-
Listen, I don't know if you ever got that as a kid
Yeah.
punishment, but I
Just
used
to
to.
erase the evidence of what you did, you should cut the Carl Winslow in his shit.
Oh, don't worry, nephew gonna be Michael Jordan by Friday.
Hey,
Cuddy, I'll
listen,
tell
he
you
gonna
that.
have to be, Joe. I'm telling you, he got that good shit. That ain't gonna grow back quick. He gonna have
No, 30
real low
days.
fades for at least
It's gonna
4
be-
weeks.
Right, you called it. You're absolutely right. And look, every day I want you to remember. Damn, I should have just listened to Dad. But
Listen,
anyways,
I was the best barber in school for a while.
I was gonna bring him your way, but I was like, I ain't want to bring him to Uncle Clay. He probably wouldn't have whined with you because you Uncle Clay.
Hell no, you ain't about to whine with me.
Right.
You
I
about to
should've
sit
brought
your
him
little
to you.
ass down.
I should have brought him
and,
to you.
and don't nothing hurt. You're fine.
Right,
We'll
that's
get
exactly
through this.
right. He would have listened to you too because he loved your ass.
The
But
fuck?
anyways, so you didn't give
Yes,
your week. No, yes, you did. You gave your week 1 episode.
Yeah, I
right?
gave my
Okay.
the upset was Saints Packers.
Packers.
But
You never gave your Ezekiel Elliott predictions for rush
oh, you just
yards
missed
and-
them. You missed mine
Oh, I
and
missed
Britt's.
it?
Britt said she sees Bucks winning 28-21 with Ezekiel Elliott rushing for 70 yards, 1 touchdown.
Okay. I can see
said it's gonna be just because I bet y'all the 5. Dallas
Right.
24-21 winning by a field goal. I said Ezekiel Elliott's either going, and I went with 107 on the yards, 1 touchdown, or I said, or he's gonna get 118 with 2 touchdowns, and he's gonna break like a 12-yarder nobody expected, type shit. But I went with the 107 and 1 yard for the 24-21. That's what it's gonna be.
I can see that. I could definitely see
Ohio
that.
State, I said Ohio State. Dallas Cowboys win by a field goal, and I think they hit the field goal like last scoring opportunity type shit.
Okay. That's an interesting prediction. I could listen. Might be up to something.
I think that's how I get my 5, motherfucker.
Or
But,
it might break even.
Or either way, yeah, no, because I think my Raiders gonna take the Ravens
Baltimore.
regardless. I think that's a done data regardless. But my hit the showers is gonna have to go to Clinton Portis,
Oh, that's right.
just because you of all the names that were mentioned are the biggest, and for you, my hit the showers is really not that you did it, but the fact that you got the least amount of years. Like, if you broke, like motherfuckers is saying you could at least have went big or went home.
Right.
Should at least had the most amount of years on that shit. So
Right.
Clinton Portis hit the showers for not getting enough years or managing your money correctly. You got anything to take us out?
As you say, be good or be good at it.
Listen, and clearly they weren't, right?
Right.
What the fuck, Joe? This is exactly what we try to prepare y'all for every week. This is the the coaches of life. I'm head coach of life. Malcolm's the assistant coach of life. No headset needed for this motherfucker because he don't show up but half the time.
There's 2 now.
Until next time, motherfuckers, be good or be good at it.